Last night the bishop was here with us, and he installed me officially as pastor here at Holy Spirit. It always sounds funny saying that he installed me. I feel like some kind of appliance, like I'm a dishwasher, and he came and hooked up the water and electric. But this week was an opportunity for me to reflect on this role as pastor in light of the readings that we've been given this morning. There are some figures in our readings that really resonated with me, and I think they fit not only the pastor, but all of us in some way. There is Moses, the mediator between God and his chosen people. Moses who led the people from slavery to freedom. Moses who gave them the law not as an imposition or a burden, but as a guide to a deeper union with God. Moses intercedes with the people on behalf of God to give them guidance or to offer mercy. And I am aware, as pastor, of my need to intercede on your behalf to God. But it's not my role alone. We all have to be mediators between God and our brothers and sisters. We have to beg the Lord on each other's behalf and bring the good news of God's message to those who are in need. There is the figure of the shepherd who has lost a single sheep and goes in search of it to bring it back. It's clear in the life of the church that the pastor must fulfill this role of bringing mercy and restoring those who are lost back to the one who first made them, to bring them into a place of safety, a shelter from the confusion of this life. But it is not the role of the pastor alone. It is our work together to go in search of those who have drifted from the faith, who have lost their way in this world where it is so easy for us to get confused and weighed down by the burdens of life. We must all be searching for the lost sheep, and we must all recognize in one way or another that all of us need to be pulled back. All of us need to be drawn back into a deeper union with the Good Shepherd. There is that woman who searches for the lost coin and rejoices when she discovers it. It's clear for me that I have the responsibility to lead this search for the gifts that the Lord has placed in our midst, which we so often hide or misuse. But it is not my role alone. We all have to search for the treasures that God has placed in our midst, the talents, the gifts that He has placed within us. And it's our job to search for them, to bring them out, to pull them to the surface so that they can be used, and so that we can gather and rejoice that we have found these buried treasures, these lost coins, and that we can use them to celebrate God's goodness to us. There is the Father who welcomes his wandering Son, who desperately desires more out of life, but doesn't know where to find it. It's clear for me that I have the responsibility to welcome those who have wandered and have squandered the gifts that God has given to them. Even more, it is my role, as the bishop pointed out last night, to wait at the end of the road each day, hoping that the one who is lost will return home. But it is not my role alone. We all have to look for our prodigal brothers and sisters, to give them guidance, to show them by the way that we live the joy of being a member of the household of God. We all have to wait, not with judgment, but with mercy, for those who are ready to return to the Lord, those who recognize that there is no other place in this world to find comfort other than the arms of our Father. Finally, there is St. Paul, the unworthy one, the blasphemer, the persecutor, the arrogant one, called by God to be an instrument of grace. And maybe more than all the rest, I feel an association with St. Paul, because I am a sinner, turning back to God each day, hoping that He can use me as an instrument of grace and mercy for the people who are entrusted to my care. But I don't think I'm the only one. I think we are all in need of this conversion. We all need to continually turn back to God from our pride, from the ways in which we have strayed, from the times that we have given in to persecution and sin. All of us must turn back again and again to recognize that we have been chosen as sons and daughters of a loving Father, to acknowledge our weakness and to allow it to be transformed into God's strength. My friends, we have to help each other to fulfill the mission that God has entrusted to us. This is our parish. It has been given to us by God and those who have gone before us. This parish lives if we live. It lives when we pull to the surface the gifts that have been buried. It lives when we turn back to God. It lives when we go in search of our brothers and sisters who are lost. It lives when we treat each other with compassion and not judgment. It lives when we go in search of the one who gives meaning to our lives. We have to look for the God who has come to save us. We have to help each other to search for Him in our daily lives. And in this way, our parish is reborn each day, reborn by the gift of the Spirit that is given, reborn by the presence of the Son who leads us back to the Father. Let's look together for the gift of the Son. Let's respond together to the gift of the Spirit. And let's go running together into the arms of our loving Father who is waiting for us.